how to actually win first place at your competitions. Turned in feet. So one huge reason you're probably not placing first is that your foot placement is off. Today we're going to focus on our foot placement as it's the easiest thing to fix. Okay, to learn how to do this, we're going to need to stand up straight, make sure our back is straight and our chest is up. Not super up and out like ballerinas from ballet, but just a little bit relaxed, shoulders rolled back, confident, head up straight. Okay, we already know this stuff. Now, you're probably doing this if you're just beginning, which is called turned in feet. Or you'll be doing this, which is called straight feet. What you should be doing is this, turned out feet. Now, depending on your organization, you might need the overcross turnout where your toes are touching like this, or the classic regular turnout where your heel and toe is touching like this. From here, where do our feet go? You can go straight out in front for your regular toe to heel position where you do your dancing things. Okay, let's see what that looks like on both feet. So, regular feet, toe to heel position, and out front. Okay, overcrossed version, overcrossed like this, and out front is now overcrossed onto the side. Let's look at it with the left foot, overcrossed, make sure in the mirror you can see your toes touching, and now point it over to the side. While you don't twist your body must go forward and your leg out sideways, and not like this either, just pointed diagonally, nicely, the tips of your toes. Now, let's see where the side position would be. Intermediate position, which is used when we have our heel to heel position, we're here. If we do something out to the side, we're just here. Now, if we're overstepping it, going with an extension, we may be as far as our leg can take us. So depending again on your organization, this is going to be different. Now in the back, the regular version of toe to heel, now you point in the back would be right here. Okay, now if you want to overcross that, you'll want it over here. On the left leg, over here, making sure that you don't sink into your knees or bring your back forward. Nice and straight. The stress is really going to be on this knee if you're going to do this. Now, my personal preference would be do it in a more natural way that's easier to sustain and still looks as it should. Now that we have that, another really big mistake that I'd like to touch on would be your swing ins or your hops or knee ups, depending on what you call it. Recently, I've been seeing that there's more people not knowing how to do it, and they'll do it like this. Is this a cut? No. Is this a swing in? No, because it's this. It's a combination between the two, and that, for me, is not going to fly. We cannot do that. So let's do it just straight in on top of your knee. That's the placement of your swing in, making sure you're swinging it in, as I've said so many times. And the cut is also straight sideways. No froggy ballerina openings here. Straight up and down. The articulation of this is in your knee and your foot. As soon as your foot comes off the ground, it starts pointing. Yep, just like that. Okay, and also make sure not to bend forward on that. Let's look from the side. Just like that. I know you're probably looking for other Irish dancing videos, tutorials, schools, trying to explain this to you on the internet. You're not going to find much, to be honest. People usually don't want to be posting these kinds of things because, well, it takes time, energy. They prefer to focus on their physical school. But not me. We have our online school, and we also have our physical locations currently in Argentina and Brazil. If you are looking for that extra support, you already have a school, or you don't have a school, there's none near you, you're looking to learn Irish dancing from zero, go all the way to the championships, really learn how to do some river dancing, then click the link in my description. There is a free course of 60 classes to get you started on learning how you can become an Irish dance champion. Really easy to follow. There's subtitles in a lot of the videos, so you can read along the steps as I say them. Anyway, getting back to class. Another one of these mistakes would be your toe height in the back. So in the grade levels, this can be lower, right? Not completely flat, never, but it can be here. Then when you're out of the grades into the championships, it should be up here. Why you may not be moving out and going on to different levels can be this, that when you hop, it looks heavy. You haven't figured out how to hold your weight. Breathing is a really important thing. for my school to be able to explain to my dancers. So you really need to hold your core, engage it, which means when you punch it, it shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't be like, oh, it should be very hard, like make it a rock. And your back is the other one you need to engage. So to be able to do this, you're probably going to tell me, hey, Bella, but I'm not strong enough. I don't have any muscles. Like, yeah, okay. So we're going to fix that now. You know the plank? We're going to do it right now. This is the plank. I'm going to show you from the side. You want to make sure your shoulders and your back are at the same height and your arms are a table. Okay, you see that? On the tips of my toes, I am holding my body up. And if I start falling, like this, bring it back up there. This part of your body to hold yourself up. So doing that a lot every day that you're going to go practice for at least a minute each time will gradually improve your abdominal strength. Another one I found really helpful for my back is a ballet bar exercise. So if you're already doing ballet and you already know how to do this, I encourage it. You can use a bar or a wall if you like, but this kind of mobility thing is quite helpful. Just hold it. Hold it a lot. It's going to start hurting the middle and the bottom of your back. That is the part that you need to tighten right here. Same thing if you hold it out to the side. Now it's going to be in this part of the leg that you're going to build the strength. Holding it here, it's going to be right here. The top part, where your pants start. So this is also a resistance training exercise, which means you build muscle by holding exercises, not lifting weights. And I know some girls prefer that, and especially younger dancers, if they're not old enough to, lift weights. Last exercise, I promise. The sitting one. So we can go like this. Just sit regularly. Then you're going to lift up your legs from the floor. You're going to sit like this. And you're just going to hold that. So the lower you get to the ground, the harder it becomes. And your legs can go a little further out, but you never want your back to touch the floor or your legs to touch the floor. Now I'm holding it right here, and you might be shaking. And that means you're too weak and you got to do this more often. And we usually hold this a few seconds at a time. So the plank is a little bit easier, but you should start probably with 15 seconds, 10 seconds, stop for like maybe 30 seconds, count to 30, and then start again. Don't burn yourself out. Don't do too much the first day and then never again. It's not going to work. It needs to be consistent as you're practicing. So these are tips I usually give to level 2 and over, meaning advanced, beginner, and over. But if you're stuck in the first level, it might be because of these small things. No strength, no energy, no foot placement. Weak ankles is another one. This is probably the easiest one to detect. If you can't bring your feet high up, if you're really low and you just can't do this, it's because you need to do this. This is how we get strength in our ankles and our feet. So we can start with 2 feet. And then if that's really easy, you could do this forever. Go like a flamenco and start doing 1 foot. And you can avoid touching the floor too to make it even harder. So the easy one is like this, up and all the way down. The medium one is like this, 1 foot up and all the way down. And the hard one is like this, up and not all the way down. And find your balance too. If you're not finding balance when you're dancing, pick a spot on the floor, not the mirror, something that's not going to move and not going to distract you. So if you see like a spot on the floor or a shoe or something, choose that. Or in my case, in my viewfinder, I see this light switch, and that is my spotting section. There are some tips for you with your Irish dancing. No, it's not all practice, 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 drill, drill, drill. Sometimes we have to stop and better something so that we can actually see our scores improve, get better placements, and finally advance. If you're needing a little bit more help on that side, feel free to send me a message on Instagram, leave a comment down below. If you're thinking of giving up or you already gave up and don't know if you should come back to Irish dancing, the answer is always yes. I couldn't live without it. I'm sure you can't either. And that's probably why you're here, to be honest. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more free Irish dance classes. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy dancing. Bye for now.